When I tell you, we got DL Hughley in the building, y'all. DL Hughley is speaking up. Now, when you know he's speaking up and he's calling the Nolan Wells friends out, baby, you know you better watch out. And I tell you one thing, I got the phone lines open today. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm going to pin up the phone lines. And anybody got something to say? I want to hear what y'all got to say. I'm gonna play this video with Don Lemon and DL Hughley talking about the Nolan Wells. And after that, I'm gonna give my commentary. But I want to know y'all thoughts about this. The phone lines are open. And I'm just so thankful that Black men are speaking out. I just want to give a big thank you to all the Black men that have been speaking out about Nolan Wells, the Black men that have been donating, trying to get money to get more people to come forward, the Black men that have paid for the funeral and helped this baby. Shout out to the Black men in the Black community. I'm so proud of y'all. All right, so let me pull this up, okay? Let me pull this up. Y'all need to hear this. Y'all need to hear this.
Our leaders, I think that if somebody has trusted you in a situation they don't feel necessarily comfortable in, then you take extra steps to make sure that they're all right. And I think that that's all anybody's asking. Listen, nobody knows today what happened in this case, but I do know that if you have 4 people that leave and 3 come back, and nobody seems to have any concern about the whereabouts of one of their so-called friends, or has the person's mode of communication, that phone, and that doesn't seem mysterious. I think that there are questions at least. And I think that either they are horrible friends or horrible liars. You know, I just don't think, I think that all anybody's asking for, and definitely my sympathy goes out to the Wells family and all that they're going through, in addition to all the stuff, all the unanswered questions. I think what is unfair to a family is having unanswered questions.
That's right.
We're not talking about somebody that you could point to and find.
And that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about racism. And I need y'all to understand this, because if this was a white person, that body was dead, then they would have had all the answers in the Mississippi. They would have had the autopsy already done and out. They would have had them boys arrested and everything. It's the system, baby. It's the system. That's why these white boys know they can unalive us, because the system is racism. The system is going to always protect them. Do y'all get that? That's why they feel so cocky and comfortable to do these crimes, because they know they've been getting away with it, and they can get away with it because they people are in place. They got mamas that's going to look out for them, and the judges and the sheriff, and they rubbing elbows and all that. Come on now.
What happened? I think that it's only right and natural that anybody would want, any deliberative body as well as a parent, would want to know what led to these circumstances. If at the very least to get some level of closure, or to kind of avoid things like this happening again.
You believe something is not adding up with
no
stories?
It isn't that I believe that something isn't adding up. It isn't whether I believe it or not. I don't understand how you don't contact the parents and let them know what's happening. I don't understand how there's no sense of alacrity or concern. I don't understand how the parents and her sister or her friend had to find his phone, which should have been, if she were able to find where his phone was picking. I don't know why a law enforcement agency wouldn't do it. And the thing that I found probably the most egregious was when law enforcement or the officials were saying there's no foul play. The first thing they always tell us when there's a matter of law concern, law enforcement, they always tell us not to jump to conclusions. And that seems to be the very thing they did. How do you know there was no foul play? We don't have a toxicology report or an autopsy, but you can just say definitive.
They always jump to conclusion, DL Hughley. I just had that white man tell me, well, maybe Nolan Wells, he got on a boat with a different group of friends. It's not uncommon for him or for people to go to the island with a group of people and then leave off with another group of people, like he was a whore or something like that. Nah. They throwing out all this shit. They throwing out, oh, well, maybe he drowned. You know how the water is. You be 3 feet. Next thing you know, you dump it to 20 feet. Then your ass is dead. His ass could swim, and he wasn't going out that far. Why in the hell was he going out that far? And if his ass was going out that far, it's 4th of July. You mean to tell me ain't nobody else? He wasn't in a company with everybody else? So they trying to paint that, oh, he was just by himself, and he was drunk and depressed. How the hell y'all ass know he drunk? You see that, y'all? Y'all don't mind jumping into conclusion. As long as it's benefiting y'all, as long as it's going to, well, he did it to himself. As long as it's not pointing to no damn white boys, y'all don't mind doing whatever or conclusions y'all got. But soon as it's pointing to the people that the real suspect, y'all got a problem with that. Ain't no way you guilty. And then you gonna hire lawyers. And that's supposed to be my brother. Ain't no way. If my brother mama come talking to me, talking about something, hey G, I said, what? I can't find Shelly, honey. Damn, I was just with Shelly. Okay, you riding out, I'm gonna ride out with you. Damn, where the fuck Shelly at? I'm gonna tell you where all the niggas I know Shelly be with, all the friends I know Shelly be with. I'm not about to lawyer up, I'm gonna help you find Shelly. Shit, I wanna know where Shelly at too. Hell. But nah, they lawyered up. They stayed their difference, and they gave the family a hard-ass time, okay? That's guilty, baby. Y'all hit that link. I want to know what y'all got to say about this. Let's go.
You don't believe that there was any foul play at all? What gives you the presumption of thinking that?
DL is Mississippi.
Yeah. And the truth about it is, black kids coming up in Mississippi or black people coming up in Mississippi is not uncommon. And they have a horrible reputation when it comes to that. I'm not saying other parts of the country don't, but I'm thinking you are judged by your history. The best indicator of what somebody will do is what they have done. And let's not pretend like they don't have certainly a dubious past when it comes to things like that.
Mm-hmm. One of his friends was on TMZ. I'm sorry, strike that. His coach was on TMZ, and he said there was no racial animosity or no racial animus at school, so he didn't believe that it was racial, as he said. I'm paraphrasing here, but he was not there. How does one know that?
That's my whole thing. Hey, man, I don't know what happened here, and I think all anybody is asking for is 2 things. One is clarity and a level of concern. Act like you care. Act like there's something urgent.
If y'all did not know, that black coach, he was sent there. That black coach, assistant coach, was a plant. They tell me he was an assistant coach. Press 2 if that black coach was an assistant coach. That black coach is on a payroll by Mississippi, baby. Okay? He works at a Mississippi school. He is on a payroll. Then his ass went to TMZ. You already know TMZ is bought and sold. Look what they did to our sister Ashley that got unalived by Joe McCain. How they did her ass. They said, well, she did a Sudi Sidi. She went all the way to Africa to Sudi Sidi herself after that white man asked to marry her. Bullshit. God damn it. It's the same fucking pattern. And y'all don't see it? Yeah, wake up. Wake the fuck up. Damn.
A child, a person at the beginning of his life is gone. That is an unnatural thing. And it happened in the Duke. I leave. I don't see you for a while. You come back floating. That isn't suspicious to you? That doesn't beg questions. That doesn't have, that's something that I think should be a concern to everybody.
DL, this is let's see, the teammates arriving today. I want you to take a look at this. So that's the teammates arriving. I mean, but that's like his teammates from the school. That's a whone lot of brothers, and one would think just from the pictures that he was a guy that only hung out with white people. But that does not appear to be, the entire story. But it's fairly diverse there.
And as football teams tend to be, or athletic teams, period. if you had a white football team, they would call that rugby
or lacrosse.
Right. I think it's not uncommon for us to see teams. Listen, one thing for sure, Mississippi has a checker pass and a dubious pass when it comes to black people, but not on the football field.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one place I'm pretty sure they like black people is on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah. All right. Look, I went to LSU, and you know the history of that.
Yeah, do you know why? Because y'all entertainment. The only time they like black folks is when they're entertainment. Press a 5 if you agree with me. If we entertaining their ass, doing some effed up jokes about each other, like Dave Chappelle, or doing some sports, entertaining them, that's when they can tolerate us ass. When we're entertaining their ass, that's it. That's it. That's all.
Alabama and LSU, I mean, they were getting their butts kicked, right? And so they had to allow black people on, not because they wanted them on, because they wanted to win.
Yeah, well, it happened with Alabama when he played USC and Sandbag Cunningham and Bear Brown. When I got to give me one of them niggas. So they look at the entirety of the SEC. Like I said, if you didn't have, they may not want black people. They might want to roll back voters' rights, but they don't want to do that on the football field. They might not be able to find justice in the courtroom, but on the court, on the field, it seems to be where you need a proliferation of black people to be successful. And I think that's just baked into the equation. I cannot understand why there is a laissez-faire attitude about a child or somebody who's just out of being a child, somebody who's a year ago going to a pediatrician and now all of a sudden he comes up missing. And there seems, to me, if it is that we all are our children's keeper, that we're a village, then I would think some courtesy and some compassion and also some level of urgency should be extended. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't care. Like, to me, I don't care who's missing. I think that we should care that something like this happened. And the unfortunate part is, after this incident, you've seen a myriad of incidents where people relay similar stories. Where people went out with, well, first off, I don't think black people and white people should ever be on water together on any subject, unless in the nation.
You said, DL, which is true. I mean, because like I have white friends and they always want to go hiking. I'm like, why do y'all always want to climb something? Why?
Well, I don't think black people and white people should be in the wilderness together or water. Maybe we should stay away from W's, but the wilderness together. There's a lot of things we can do. We can marry, we can hang out, we can work together, we can live together, all that kind of stuff. But we should never be on water or in the wilderness.
Yeah. What do you think? Look, I know that you have made room for the possibility that there's, you said you don't know if there's race involved, you don't know what happened, but I certainly do think, and I keep saying this, there's a reason that there's a show called The First 48.
Right.
Which is the first 48 hours of investigation, which they appear to have lost by saying, oh, we believe it's an accident. This is accidental. And they went no further than that.
Why did the mother have to find the phone? Why was it in an investigated body? If you have somebody missing and you know that the phone is missing, it was last, why does she have to do what they should have done? Which is and why does that person have that phone? And why is that not suspicious? I mean, you can't pry a phone out of an adolescent's hand, and all of a sudden they have it. I just think,
and it was on video of Nolan saying, "Give me back my effing phone." Come on now, connect the dots.
There are too many unanswered questions, and they have a responsibility to answer them, or to make sure somebody does.
Have you been paying attention to this family? I mean, they've handled this with dignity and with a strength that I have never seen. Because as you know, just before we started our tour last year, my sister died. Right? And I think we postponed a little bit, or I had to change because I just couldn't deal with it. But this family has been, tremendous. That's all I can say.
And the sad thing about it, that is a fairly common refrain, whether it is, the young man who was killed in the 50s, and his mother, and how Emmett Till, and how she handled that with dignity and aplomb and grace. I think that black people grieving gracefully is too common. but don't mistake our grief and our grace for a lack of concern. You can be grateful. I mean, people, I'm sure they're spiritual people. I'm sure they believe in a higher power and giving them the strength to assuage some of this guilt. But the onus is on investigative bodies to make sure that what happened, when it happened, why it happened. And if something is found, that somebody be brought to account for it. And I would want that no matter who. I wouldn't care what religion, what color, what gender. I wouldn't care what anything those things are.
Woo! Honey, did you hear DL? Did y'all hear DL talk? Comment, let me know. If you guys have something to say, feel free to come up here because I want to hear from y'all. But I gotta say something about this. You know I gotta say something. Do y'all mind if I say something about this? Okay. It needs to be said. I'm sorry, but I gotta say something about this. My goodness, I got to, y'all. When I need y'all to hear me for a second, okay? I just need y'all to hear me for a second, if you will. If you will. When I tell you that Mississippi think we stupid, I mean that, really think we stupid. Like we gonna nod our heads and say, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you for the lies. 4 people got on the boat, y'all. 4. You hear me? 4. 3 came back, and the one that didn't have his phone, they had his keys. They looked at his mama and said, well, we don't know where he at. And Mississippi law enforcement, the same Mississippi that gave us Emmett Till, the same Mississippi that gave us McEvers, the same Mississippi that still got Confederate flags flying next to the courthouse, looked at that and said, oh, no foul play. No foul play. No foul play. Before the autopsy, before the toxicology report, before they even asked the real friends and the real questions, no foul play. If that ain't a setup, come on now, honey, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be out your whole entire mind, okay? Let me break this down for the people in the back who still give Mississippi the benefit of the doubt. Nolan Wells, 18 years old, baby, just graduated high school. A year ago, he was going to some school. He was doing great things with his life. He had a great future, and now he's dead. Not even, well, he was floating in the water, but they found his body on the land. Did y'all know that? They found his body on the shore on the land, and his friends got his phone. His mother had to track his phone. His mama, the mama who carried him for 9 months, who watched him take his first steps, who sent him off to school that morning, thinking he was going, and she sent, let me tell you what happened to her, okay? Because July the 3rd, Nolan Wells told her he was going to spend the night over his friend's house. Which one of those friends? I forgot which one of them white boys. It was one of them white boys. And he made dinner for her, I heard. Okay. And kissed his mom, bye. And that was the last time she seen her son, was July the 3rd. Ain't that something? But honey, the mom, she had to find his phone. Not the police, not the friends who had his phone. His mama went searching and looking for his phone. Why did the mother have to go searching and looking for his phone? And when she got that phone, you know what she found? Deleted text messages, social media deleted, everything wiped out clean. Like somebody went there with a digital eraser and just started scrubbing everything and said, we gonna make sure ain't nothing left. What are they hiding? What was it? But here's the part that make me want to just throw my whole phone at the wall. The friends, they lawyered up. They deleted their social media accounts before the body was even found, y'all. Before they even knew for sure he was dead. They already had lawyers on speed dial. Why is that? I tell you one thing. If I was one of those boys and I was innocent and you all are my friend and your mama came checking for you, I'm riding with your mama to help find you because I'm going to feel accountable. Damn, what they was with me. First of all, if you my friend and you came with me on that boat, I don't give a fuck. You coming home with me. Nigga, bitch, girl, get his phone number. Get her phone number. Get Katie's phone number and you come with me. Ain't nobody about to stay with no damn stranger. I don't give a damn how much you like a stranger. Ain't nobody stand behind for no fucking strangers they just met. I don't give a fuck if she fine as hell. It's 4:00 in the PM. We hanging. This is July the 4th. Dudes all the time. Give me your number. Let me holler at you. But they not trying to be with the girl at all motherfucking day they just met to dish their homies, to dish their bros. Get out of here. It's they don't do that. That's not happening. Now, I ain't no detective either, but I know when somebody running. I know when somebody hiding. And I know when a whole town is covering something up. And D.L. Hughley, he said it best, y'all. He said, and I quote this man because he spoke the gospel. He said they're either horrible friends or horrible liars. That's it. That's the whole tweet right there. That is the whole sermon. That's the whole truth. Horrible friends or horrible liars. And I got news for you. They both. They both. Do you agree with me? Press 5. If they both, they're horrible friends and horrible liars. Because a real friend, when your boy don't come back from that boat, you don't go home and delete your Instagram or your Snapchat. You don't go home and call a damn lawyer. You don't go home and act like it's just another Tuesday on Mississippi. A real friend is screaming. A real friend is crying. A real friend is on the phone with the parents saying, we lost him. We don't know where he at. We need help. Did you catch that? I'm calling you. You the mother. I'm saying, we lost him. We need help. We need help to find Nolan. We in this shit together. A real friend is not sitting on TMZ talking about, well, there was no racial animosity at the school. And that coach had the nerve to go on TMZ and say, I don't believe it was racial. You wasn't there. You wasn't there, coach. You wasn't on that damn boat. You wasn't on that damn island. You don't know what happened. But you out here capping for these kids like they your own. Okay? Mississippi. You are judged by your history. The best indicator of what somebody going to do is what they already done. And what Mississippi done, they done showed us exactly who they are over and over again. Don Lemon said that hit my chest right here. Don Lemon said something that hit my chest, y'all. He said there's a reason they got a show called The First 48. The first 48 of an investigation, that's when you solve the case. That's when the evidence is fresh. That's when the people still scared, still talking and still slipping up. In Mississippi, they knew the first 48, they threw it. They threw the first 48 in the trash. They said, nah, y'all, we good. It was an accident. We went home. Yeah, it's good. Ain't nothing to see here, folks. They didn't interview nobody. They didn't check no phones. They didn't ask why the friends had his phone. They didn't ask why the friends had his keys. They didn't ask why it's an 18-year-old boy who just got his license would leave his car keys with somebody else and his phone with somebody else. They didn't ask none of that because they didn't want to know, because they already knew it. Okay? Because in Mississippi, when a black kid died under suspicious circumstances, the answer is always, it's an accident, until the internet forced them to say something else, y'all. And even then, they had the body for 6 days. 6 whole days, y'all. The coroner had that baby for 6 whole days before they even gave him back to his family. And y'all wonder why it was a closed casket? Y'all wonder why his mama couldn't see her son one last time? Honey, they was trying to make sure evidence disappeared. They was trying to make sure the bruises faded. They was trying to make sure the independent autopsy couldn't find what they already knew what was there. And honey, I've been reading them comments. You know I dig deep in the comments. I've been reading what y'all been saying. And y'all ain't having it. Y'all ain't letting this go. One person told me, they said I'm 55 years old. And I walk from one room to another with my phone in my hand. And ain't no young person willingly giving up their phone for nobody. Honey, another person told me, if I have your phone, but I don't have you, I'm not leaving. I'm not getting on that boat. I'm not going home. I'm staying right there until we find you. Come on now. In my favor. In my favor. The one that made me just stop and stare at my screen, somebody said, they think we stupid. Honey, they do think we stupid. They think we gonna forget. Yeah, they think we're gonna move on to the next story. They think we're gonna let this be another one swept under the rug like all the others. But Mississippi, let me tell you something, Mississippi. Nolan Wells, baby. Nolan Wells is everybody's sons right now. Press a 2 if that's your son right now. Jamaica is watching. Barbados is watching. South Africa is watching. Canada is watching. The whole world is watching, baby. We ain't closing our eyes. We ain't turning our heads, and we ain't letting shit go. And D.L. Hughley, honey, said something else that I need y'all to really hear. He said, I don't think black people and white people should ever be on water together unless they're in the Navy. Honey, and before y'all start with that divisive shit, before y'all start with that, not all white people, let me ask you something. How many times we're going to learn this lesson? How many times we're going to find out the hard way that friends ain't always friends? That accident ain't always accidents. That no foul play really means we don't care enough to look. Honey, Don Lemon said the same thing. He said his white friends always want to go hiking. Why y'all always want to climb something? And DL said, well, maybe we should stay away from WS's, the wilderness and the water. Honey, it was a joke, but it ain't no joke. It is survival manual. Honey, it's a warning that our great grandmas been giving us for generations. Do y'all remember Big Mamas? Yeah, them Big Mamas been telling us this, honey. Don't go nowhere with their ass. Okay, don't be alone with them now. Don't trust them too far now, honey. And we still out here trying to be the bigger person. We still out here trying to prove we not racist. We still out here sending our babies off with people who don't see our babies as human. Honey, Nolan Wells trusted them. He got on that boat with them. He thought that they was his friends, and now he's dead. Honey, and they got his phone, they got lawyers, and they went silent. But let me tell you about this family. Let me tell you about Christine Wells. Let me tell you about a mother who just buried her baby. A closed casket, y'all. Closed casket. And still had the strength to stand up and say, we want answers. Don Lemon said it. He said, black people grieving gracefully is too common. We always got to be graceful. We always got to be dignified. We always got to be the bigger person, even when they killing our babies, even when they lying to our faces, even when they holding our children's bodies for 6 days like evidence in a case they already decided not to solve. But don't mistake our grace for weakness. Don't mistake our dignity for forgetfulness. Don't mistake our prayers for passing, okay? We are the justice we seek. We are the answers we demand. And if Mississippi won't give it to us, we gonna take it. We gonna take it. We gonna keep on talking. We gonna keep on posting. We gonna keep on showing up until somebody is held responsible. So here's what I need y'all to do. I want y'all to share this video, tag every news outlet, tag every politician, tag everybody who got a platform and ain't using it, because Nolan Wells deserves better than no foul play. He deserves better than a closed casket. He deserves better than friends who got his phone and his keys in his silence. Honey, he deserves the truth. And if Mississippi won't give it to him, honey, we gonna give it to each other. Honey, 4 left, 3 came back, and the one that didn't, he was 18. He was just a baby. He was supposed to be going to college. He was supposed to be living his life, y'all. And now he's gone. And they think we stupid. And they think we gonna forget. Honey, I don't forget. I don't forgive. And we don't stop. Justice for Nolan Wells. And may God have mercy on everybody who's standing in the way. All right? Come on now. Come on now. Do y'all hear me? All right. So, hello, Barbara. Are you there?
Hello, how are you doing, baby? How are you doing, Gigi?
Good. Speak to me.
You know, this case here has so many twists and turns, but let me tell y'all something. Don't lose focus on those boys. They can throw Katie out anywhere they want to. Katie didn't lawyer up. Remember, they closed their social media down before the world even knew this young man was missing. What was that for? Why are you deleting this young man pictures? If that's my friend, the very same boats we rode out there on, we finna load them back up and we about to go look for him. Very suspicious, very suspect. And one more point I want to bring out. Let's not lose focus on that pool picture. They're saying June 27th, but who carves USA in their chest June 27th? That picture was put out there for a reason. And don't lose focus on it, because that man that has that in his chest, he looks very out of place. And I've been trying to get a name on him and some research on him, because he looks very suspect and those kids look so scared in that pool. What you think about that, Ginger?
I agree with you. I think you're right.
And another thing, if they said he's going to be with a girl, right? We all grown. Well, if he's going to be with a girl, how you know he just went laid up in a motel somewhere doing his thing with her? What makes you think at 11 o'clock at night, oh, he missing? Then you call the Coast Guard. Well, what would make you think he in the water? Why wouldn't he be on land somewhere with Katie? Very suspect to me. Very. And how did that phone stay charged all day long? Remember the mom speaks about at some point the phone was at 18%. And she's exactly right. You can see that on that 360 app. Because when it gets to like 10%, it'll send me a um something to my phone. It'll let me know my boy's phone needs charging. So she knows exactly what she's talking about. And who charged the phone? Where was it charged at? It's no way that phone stayed charged all day long.
You sure right. You sure
And I
right.
just think that throwing out all these different stories to get the focus off those boys. And did you see with Cajun Navy? Because he actually got on my Facebook page and he answered my question because I tagged him in that
Mm-hmm.
when they was talking about that they tried to put the dogs on there. And I
Mm.
think that Josh Gill, but he's on my he answered my question and he said, I am the one that offered the dogs to go around the boats and they refused. Well, my next question I asked him and he hadn't answered it. Who refused? Why wouldn't you let the dogs go around your boat if you're innocent?
Mm-hmm.
And I went on his page to make sure it was him. I went back up to 2 years, and it's really him.
My
You know, the
God.
guy with the beard, the older guy with the beard that keeps his head backwards, the count backwards.
Uh-huh.
He's on my post really answering questions, but he's very strategic the way he's answering it. But he was, saying stuff like, don't let this go cold. So I'm not stupid. It was some foul play with this young man.
Of course.
And it's so pitiful. It is so ridiculous but hey, Mississippi, the world got their eyes on him.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see that the award went up to 125,000 now?
Yes.
But as a black mom, I am tired of watching our young black men get executed, murdered, and nothing is being done about it. We tired. We are so tired.
Mm-hmm.
In Mississippi, if they don't know the history of Mississippi, they better learn the history of Mississippi.
Yeah.
And how does the governor come out and make a statement like that without an autopsy? They're swaying if they're taking it to the grand jury, that's already swaying them in one way.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge comes out and make her statements. I didn't think a judge could do that.
Mm.
So, girl, you tell me what you think. I'm running my mouth. You tell me what you think.
No, I didn't say it my piece, baby. I just open it up for you guys if you guys want to say something, but I didn't say it my piece, baby.
And let's keep our feet on their neck. We're not giving up. Keep the pressure on them.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, if I find something else, I'm definitely coming back tonight or tomorrow. Thank you so much. Hello, Barbara. I appreciate
And
you.
you keep up the good work, baby. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, love. All right. So I have the link. If you guys want to speak up, I'm going to start posting the link up. All right. So I will see you guys sooner or later. And justice for Nolan Wells.